Good morning. We are out on the walk. Fancy and I are enjoying some very cool weather for the time of year. Man, it's been a week since I got a video out walking with you guys. It's been hectic. Midwest Preparedness Festival, stuff going on in our personal lives, and just doing a lot of work around the homestead. Well, I'm going to apologize in advance this morning because my inner geek is going to come out during this video, and like I said, I apologize. So I am a fan of science fiction and fantasy, among other genres. And I was pursuing my nerdiness the other day, reading some news about the industry and such. And I ran across a couple of things that it was so stupid that it burned. And the other one was so stinking racist, I was flabbergasted. And I'll explain what they are. Before we go on though, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, make it to the end of the video. If you like this type of stuff, we go on these walks on a regular basis, amongst other things. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All right, so what am I talking about? What was so stupid that it literally hurt? So I was reading reviews and watching reviews on the Amazon series Ring of Power. I don't watch it because it's not actually, I don't think it's very good. But the writers in season 2 came up with a scene where an orc, if you don't know what an orc is just an evil creature made for madness and chaos, basically. Anyway, this orc asks his commander, do we have to go to battle? We're safe here. And then he turns to his loving family, his female and his offspring. And it was so against type, and it was so not what orcs are about. Orcs are evil. They're just personified evil in all literature. Up until recently, apparently, orcs are agents of terror and evil. And it's so stupid because it's the left narrative poking through where it doesn't need to be, right? The left feels the need to humanize evil and find a reason for evil not to be evil, right? And in real life, okay, I'll acquiesce. We want to be human, right? We want to think the best of people. But this is fiction. This is made up fantasy world. And the same type of logic that comes up with orcs being concerned about their families, which in classic fantasy literature, you know, the people that invented it, they're not concerned about their families. All they're concerned about is killing and destroying. But anyway, but this is the type of narrative and the type of thinking that leads us to places in the real world where when the jihadist looks at the West and go, we will kill you, the liberals look at it and say, oh, they don't mean that. They really don't mean. They're just mad, and we need to understand why they're mad at us. Yeah, they're mad at us because we're not Islamists. That's why they're mad at us, plain and simple. And I understand I'm painting with a wide brush because not everybody who considers themselves a liberal is like that, and they don't think that, and they understand the reality of the situation. And number 2, not all Muslims are raging Islamists, although their doctrine will eventually lead them there one day, right? And it also leads to the intersectionality where you've got queers for Palestine. You know, the very people that the Palestinian Authority is chucking off of buildings are trying to support them. You know, they're supporting the very people that would kill them. And it's that kind of craziness and stupidity that hurts. I mean, when you think about it and try to think about it logically, it actually hurts your brain. You know, and the good thing about that type of stupidity is it's supposed to hurt. Being stupid is supposed to hurt. When you do something dumb, something stupid, the repercussions should hurt you in some way, because that's how we learn. You know, we learn not to put our hand in a fire. Most kids learn by touching something hot or doing something stupid like that, right? But it's an example. The whole thing there is an example of how the left, the Marxists in this world, have to contaminate and destroy and rewrite everything for their narrative. Because if they can't control your mind, they can't control you. So they control your mind by infecting it with this woke mind virus. Okay. The other thing that I saw was so... Okay, track with me here. Track with me and tell me in the comments if this makes sense. It was so ham-fistedly subtle, if that's a thing, that anybody with two brain cells rubbed together could see exactly how racist it was. And it is. All right? So what I'm talking about is the New York Times, I think it was. It's one of the West Coast papers. Had an article about how orcs, again, a fantasy element, you know, fantasy. Orcs are actually a right-wing representation of blacks. Wow. That is an extreme leap, and it is so overtly racist in its origin that it's mind-boggling. So the first thing that these liberals that wrote this article are thinking about is blacks are so violent that the right wing uses orcs as an example of them because they're afraid to. Yeah, oh my God, it's seriously, again, stupid level, but the overt racism there, and again, it's the Marxist narrative seeping its way into pop culture. You know, the reason why white liberals have a savior complex with blacks, minorities, you know, blacks especially, is because they think they're inferior. In fact, if you go back through history and you read the writings of the great thinkers on that side of the political spectrum, they're completely open about it. I mean, teachers' unions saying we need to change the standards because blacks are incapable of doing this. Wow. I'll tell you what, if I was a black man in modern America and I had any self-esteem, I would be angry. Seriously, I would be angry, because that's the type of thinking that leads the government to tell their wives and their daughters that they don't need a man because they've got sugar daddy Uncle Sam. They've got teachers unions that are telling their kids you're incapable of succeeding without the rules being changed or without our help. And you know, it's irritating to the nerd in me that I cannot enjoy what I find relaxing and entertaining. That I can't do that anymore because they're taking these great big giant leaps and coming up with things so stupid, like orcs aren't evil. They're just misunderstood. And things so racist that orcs are actually black people. It's like, I'm surprised that there hasn't been an outrage amongst the perpetually offended about the term monkeypox. Because if you even mention monkey in front of certain sectors of this population, they go nuts because they think you're talking about black people. Yeah, monkey business. Oh, that's racist. Yeah, no, that's not racist. That's not racist in the least bit. But to them, it's racist because that's the way they think of minorities. All right, listen, I appreciate you guys sticking through this. I hope I offended somebody, because if you're offended by what I said, then you needed to be offended, okay? Appreciate you guys coming on these walks with us. Again, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you want to support the channel, hit the affiliate links down below. You get some great deals on some great products. It's all stuff that we use, and we use it on a regular basis. So we put our money where our mouth is. Okay, at the end of the day, be aware. Don't let the stupidity and the overt racism of certain demographics get you down, drive you nuts, because if you think about it too much, it will. But most importantly, you go out and have a great day and go pursue a life done free. Thanks, Milo.